Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am sitting here watching the rain today in my apartment, and I've had a couple of thoughts come to mind that I wanted to share with you all. So as I was sitting here watching the rain, I was thinking, wow, I haven't posted on my YouTube channel in a long time, and with that, I have a couple of thoughts. One, I'm always trying to kind of find like the balance and like what is natural for us as people. And so that's one reason why I love astrology, because there's the 12 signs, each with their equal and opposite polarity. So that gives you a sense of balance and a sense of how there's a place for everything, but like too much of anything is a bad thing. So I would like to develop a bit more discipline posting on my YouTube channel, but that being said, like I also probably will never want to be machine-like because of the fact that that's not the rhythms of nature. So, it's a critique of capitalism that we are expected to produce at this rate that doesn't allow us to be in the rhythms of nature. And I wanted to share a tool that I have gleaned from my mother that speaks to that. I don't know how to make the screen show you this lovely photo, so I'm just going to hold up a picture so you get an idea of what I'm talking about. It's going to come on backwards. But just picture a circle that's like a pie chart that has 4 quadrants. That's what it's called, the 4 quadrants. And in one quadrant, we have thinking. In another quadrant, we have feeling. In another quadrant, we have being. And then in the 4th quadrant, we have doing. So that is how I make sense of these things, is that there's kind of like a right time to be doing, but like also making space for the times to be intellectualizing or just being or feeling. So furthermore, on that note, because this is my astrology channel, you'll already know like that each one of these is associated with one of the 4 elements. And of course, we see that in astrology. So it correlates with the natural rhythms of life. Some people are a bit more fiery, and like fire is associated with doing. So those people just get shit done. Some people, have a really nice balance of the elements in their charts, and others it takes a little more effort to kind of like balance between whatever they have going on. So yeah, I wanted to share about the 4 quadrants. I wanted to share that doing is associated with fire, thinking is associated with air, water is associated with feeling, and earth is associated with being. So, there's signs that each are embodied in that. It's also in the tarot deck, like wands are fire, pentacles are earth, swords are air, and cups are water. And we can even take it a step further and expand it out. I'm going to share this piece of esoteric knowledge with y'all and take it or leave it. It's maybe a little bit of a sensitive subject, but a friend of mine named Yarrow goes down to Black Mesa, which is a native reservation near the Four Corners. And they've been going there like all the time since forever and have developed this really solid relationship with a Dene elder down there who has really interesting and wise things to share. And that is where I've gotten this information. So, the elder said that like many, I don't know a number, but like ancient, many, whatever, how many years ago, that the peoples of the earth were each assigned one of the elements to embody. And as the saying goes, the people who now we call Asian were representing air. And air, being from Asia, makes me think like Buddhism and that tradition that we have learned to like follow our breath, and like how our consciousness can follow our breath, like thinking and like bringing that into the body. Like that's so air. And that's what one of the major like bodies of spiritual knowledge that I feel like is pretty sound, and it came from Asia. So that's fascinating. And like, you know, what I would inspire you as a viewer to do is on your own notice and ponder and think, like, what other air things do you notice from Asia? Like, I think of like air being very light, and like their portion sizes when they eat are like a lot smaller than America. So that's another one, like innovative technology with like it being thinking. So things like that, you know, that's really interesting and fascinating for me to think on. Earth and being, that was embodied and assigned to the people who are native to the Americas. And now we can see that like native people are the ones protecting rainforests and the ones wanting to stop pipelines and drilling and speaking for the earth, and also having a very strong talent and skill for working the earth and growing food. You know, and then fire is assigned to who we now consider Europe. Fire, what an interesting one. It's all about doing. And then European settlers, colonizers, are the ones who introduced capitalism, which is an overemphasis on doing and productivity. You know, and like every element belongs in balance, but too much of anything is a bad thing, right? Like too much consumption, we don't want that. But then fire is like how most of our ancestors have survived when it got cold, or cooked your food because it will make you sick if you don't cook it, you know? And then Black people protect and embody and harness the intelligence of water. Water is all about feeling. I think of music, which is like most music really stems from Black artists, like historically. Most genres really do stem, like at least in America. I don't think there's a single genre that we have, including country music. But I mean, strings and stuff were in Europe, but like 99.9% of the music we have in America comes from Black creators. And yeah, water is, you know, what makes up most of our body. And the Dene elder said that water was kind of like the most important to protect. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah. But I want to hear people's thoughts on this. I want to hear more that you notice with it, or questions that you have. And yeah, I hope this has served someone in some way. I know that it's just fun to think about the interplay of life and the many ways that it takes form, and the ways that we can always seek to have better balance and harmony. So yeah, have a good day.